O eternal Father, in the word of Jehovah you sent to us, the ruler of heaven and the governor of the souls of men. Be unto me my God, my King, my ruler, my guide, in this life and the life to come. For thou hast made this body as a temple, and within it thou hast set a throne for the soul. This throne is not of gold, Father, nor of stone, but of thought, intent, and obedience. So I ask, Father, to teach each and every one of us this morning concerning the throne room within the secret chambers where the heart speaketh unto thee. I ask to reveal within us what ruleth within us, whether it be the counsel of thy wisdom or thy whisper of corruption. Let thy light search the inward parts of our bodies and try the rooms of our hearts, that we may discern the governors of this body, the will and the desire of the Spirit. Let not the seed of our soul be usurped by pride, nor by the scepter of our own will, but be held by anger. But let the truth sit upon the throne, and let righteousness be the crown that adorn our minds. For thou hast sent the word Jehovah. Thou art the true monarch of the flesh and spirit, the great king who sits between the cherubims of consciousness and understanding. And when the winds of temptation raise, I ask to be our governor. When the floods of emotion break forth, I ask to be our captain. When the gates of thought are besieged by confusion, be thou watchman upon the tower, and not a strange spirit may enter in to defile these temples. But I ask to teach us the govern of the souls, that we may be discerned, Father, between the voice of king and the cry of flesh. For the body is thy workmanship, and the spirit is thy breath. The will is thy scepter, entrusted to man. Let us be welded with fear and trembling, and bow our hearts before thee continually. Be to me, Jehovah, my guide in every judgment, my ruler in every decision. I ask to be my king in every conflict, my shepherd in every wandering. Direct my steps as thou doest lead Moses through the wilderness, and let thy presence fill the inner sanctuary. And Father, when thou open thy books of thy word this morning, let the veil be removed from our understanding, and cause this lesson of the throne room of our body be written, not with ink, but with the fire upon our hearts, in every ear hear, and every mind perceive, and every soul bow before thee in reverence. O Father of spirits, let thy glory dwell within these earthly vessels, till these bodies become thrones of obedience and rule by now and forever. For thy kingdom, thy power, and thy domain be yours forever. I pray this in the name of Jehovah. In Jehovah I will always pray in. Amen. And shalom, everyone. Shalom. I want to welcome everyone to the house of the Lost Sheep of Israel and also to the house of Jehovah. And today, before we're going to be starting on this one lesson here, but we just want to make sure everybody understand that I'm stepping in for Deacon Ant. Deacon Ant is under the weather, so so everybody's please have your prayers and your good thoughts on him to where he can have a quick recovery to where we'll be seeing him on next week. So also, I was going to do this lesson in Zoom, but I just want to let people know. Just let people know. Now we had on yesterday when I announced I was gonna do it based on that. But we had one, and this was old Deacon Jonathan. This is who y'all go after. If y'all need to go after somebody, you go after him. Go after him, and you go after Big Tree, who Big Tree was the main one, one of the main ones who also being Barack Obama on this. So we want to make sure this is all taken care of, because what we were going to do this in Zoom. But once they lobbied it not to do it in Zoom, I chose to go ahead and do it here. And once we got ready to do it here, the main thing is Deacon Jonathan is at home. He's at home today. So he'll be there, and he do what he do, but he kind of cracked me up. But he did call me. He called me and he told me. He said, "Elder, I'm at home." I said, "Okay, all right." But I told him I was gonna tell. I'm gonna tell. Now I'm gonna tell you the difference is, I'm not gonna go in Zoom today because I'm doing it here. So that kills to where people can ask questions and we can go back and forth and get better understanding. Because I'm only going to be doing the lesson on the front. I'm not going to be going into Zoom for clarification. So, if y'all need to kill somebody, y'all go after Big Tree Barack Obama. You go after Deacon Jonathan. They the ones got everybody riled up. And, oh, no, do it on the front, do it on the front, do it on the front. Because he said he going to be at work. Actually, even Big Tree said he was going to be at work. But I know Deacon Jonathan is at home because he called me and told me. So just letting y'all know, this is why we're on the front. So that's why we have that's going on here. But other than that, I want people to look at what's going on here. And we're going to be looking at a couple of them today. But I want you to make sure you have your spiritual eyes on. Because we're going to be going through some scriptures and making sure you understand this spiritually. And also, I know this is not taught outside of King James Bible University. That I do know. So we're going to take our time. We're going to roll through this. And we got to look at it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over. Let me switch over to the Bibles. And we're going to look at this. So I want you to see that there. And this is the main part we want to pay attention to. Because I'm going to be going back and forth to the Bibles. I'm going to be going back and forth. But I want to make sure that you guys, because they're not going to be putting in anything in the chat today. But you need to make sure you pay real close attention and make sure you take good notes, especially where I might tell you where you might need to take a note on. So we got to remember something, where when Jehovah, he spoke a parable, He spoke a parable that's mostly unknown to people. But I'm going to unravel some of that for you. Because I want you to hearken to this speech of this kingdom. I want you to remember this. Keep this in mind as we move forward. Because it was a certain man. A sojourner in a strange land, but this strange land was brought to a place where two gardens stood side by side. The first garden was a spectacle. It was vibrant and colored and intoxicating with fragrances. Its trees was laden with fruit, glittered with jewels and flowers. They was just in bloom, and they was perpetually in splendor. The air within it was thick with sweet, coney aroma that promised endless delight. Everybody understand that? Sounds wonderful. That's one. So I want you to pay attention to the other one also. The master gardener who was faced in veil, shadow beckoned the sojourner to freely eat of all that you see in this garden here. But there was no law, every desire of virtue. Remember I told you, it was two gardens. The second garden was plain, unadorned. Its plant was real simple, herbs, sturdy trees, but bearing fruit of this humble appearance. There was no dazzling bloom, only the quiet dignity of the life rooted in deep soil. The master gardener of this garden, a sober man in countenance, stood at the gate and said, "The way into this garden is narrow. The law in this garden is strict. And you must distinguish the nourishing from the nauseous ones, the handsome from the hollow, and all that appears good is good for you. You will find life, but life of discipline and discernment." So as these sojourners, they captivated by the allure of the first garden, they stepped into it and embraced it. They ate of this glittering fruit, they drank of the sweet nectar, and for a time, he felt this great intoxicating pleasure. But soon, the strange sickness began to consume him. The vibrant colors turned to this feverish haze. The sweet aromas became prudent stench, and the jewels of the fruit turned bitter ash in his mouth. He had feasted on poison, and his life was forfeit. Now, this is the parable revealed behind the mystery of these two diets. The first garden is the world. Most people would have took that world. Most people already accepted that world. With the alluring but deadly doctrines. The second garden is the kingdom of Jehovah. It was a simple but the life-giving truth, the choice of what you eat, what you learn, what you internalize, what you believe, will determine whether you will walk in life or in death. For it is written. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. It is written. And I'm going to take you right here to Proverbs. We're going to look at 14 and verse 12. It's written, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but at the end thereof is the ways of death. I want you to keep that in mind. Understand what I'm saying. So we have to understand this today. 1 second. Excuse me. So we have this where we standing up against. As we show here, I'm going to go back there to show you. This is what we're up against. The profound truth hidden behind the dietary laws of Leviticus chapter 11. I want you to keep this in mind to everybody. Make sure that you have your pens and papers to where you might have to do some illustrations. But on the surface, these laws appear as mere regulations. But what children of Israel could and could not eat. But as we know, the law is spiritual. The scripture states this. Let's look at it to understand it. In Romans, looking at 7:14, it tells us, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Understanding that every carnal container contains this deeper spiritual lesson. The dietary laws is not about physical health alone. It's about living parables. So we need to understand the divine object of the lesson and the spiritual discernment. So this need to teach us between holy and profane. And we got to understand the things between clean and unclean, not what we put in just our mouths, but what we allow into our hearts, into our minds. So in the spiritual understanding, this what I'm going to be showing you is about these animals, and I'll be getting into the fowls and the animals, the fowls, the fish, that represents different types of people and conditions. These you can eat, to learn from, to associate with, and to internalize the doctrines and others. So the command to eat only clean animals is a command to learn only from the righteous. Everybody follow me? When you're commanded to eat only those clean animals, you are commanded to only learn from the righteous. This is what this is teaching you. And we have to know it's a prohibition against eating unclean animals is a warning against learning from wicked people, wicked doctrines. That's what it's about. Let me show you something. We look at this in Proverbs. Proverbs 13:20 says this. It says, he that walketh with wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools shall be destroyed. It's an interesting statement. Interesting statement directly in our Bible. So today we're going to dissect these ancient laws that's buried in these Bibles. But we need to understand it spiritually. Discerning spiritual things with spiritual. We have to learn how to identify clean and unclean people in our lives. Can I be allowed to show you that today? Can I be allowed to show you how that works today? To show you how to identify clean and unclean people in your lives. That's what I want you to be able to do. That's what I want you to be able to see. Okay. 1 second. I got somebody sending me texts when they shouldn't be, because I'm doing something else. So I need you to see that to understand what I'm doing. So I just want to make sure we all clear on this. And I see. So there's not just an outward appearance, but there are spiritual characteristics. You have their chewing of the cud and their dividing of the hoof. We're going to explore how the fowls of the air represent spiritual messengers, how fish of the sea represent souls in the world, how creeping things in the earth represents carnal desires, how by the end of this lecture over this time period that I'll be doing, it's going to show you many things. It's going to show you many, many things. Let's look at something. In Leviticus chapter 11:47, it tells you, it says to make a difference between clean and unclean, between the beasts that you may be eaten, that you may learn of, and beasts that you may not learn of. Everybody follow me? So let's look at something. And get a better understanding on this. So as we going to go through these scriptures, we're going to get a better understanding of what we need to do, what we need to be looking at. We want to look at a couple of scriptures. Let's pull over to these scriptures real quick. One of them, we're going to look at Leviticus chapter 11. And we're going to look at 11 and we want to bring up verse 2. We want to show that one. Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. I want to make sure this is set up. Well, no, that can't do it. That won't do it. So one of the main things is this here. In Leviticus chapter 11, 2 and 3, it tells us, it says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts that ye shall learn of among all the beasts that are in the earth." So he's showing, you see here, he's saying eat. So these are the ones you can learn of. This is clear. Verse 3, it says, "Whatsoever parted of the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth among the beasts." You see that there. Yeah, 1 second. I want to take that one off. That's the one I have to take off. I'm having a problem there. 1 second. I have one that was showing something different. So as we looking at that, we want to understand that. Because this lays down the foundational principles of distinguishing between clean and unclean beasts, whatsoever parted of the hoof. So these two characteristics, chewing the cud, dividing the hoof, is not arbitrary. But it's a profound spiritual symbol. But it's going to reveal the nature of righteous walk before Jehovah. To chew the cud, we need to understand that. The spiritual act, the meditation, chew the cud is how even a cow is regurgitation partially digested food and chewing it up again is what that is. It's the same way as a righteous person will constantly bring to his mind the words of Jehovah, meditating day and night. I'll show it to you. Show you what I'm talking about. Because this is what the issue is going to start be coming up to. 1 and 2, it tells us. It says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. In the law doeth meditate day and night. But now do we do that? That's the key. Do we actually do that? So this is not about reading scriptures, but it's about deeply and repeatedly think on them. Everybody follow me? This is about taking scriptures and deeply, repeatedly think on them, extracting every drop of spiritual nourishment that it is internal to expect this holy life to where it can constant communion in mind of our Heavenly Father. So we got to look at the dividing of the hoof. It is a spiritual thing, what we got to see. Actually, I want to take this down one. And actually, we got that part. I want to, what we can learn from, and I want to take that one. So we want to keep those there. And this is why it's so important. Because it represents a life is separated from the world. Divided the hoof provides stability. It shows sure footing, sure desire spiritually. It represents a life that is separated from the world. It's carefully chosen, not mingled with in ways of the ungodly. You have the ability to distinguish between good and evil, to walk in the narrow path of righteousness without stumbling. This is the external aspect of a holy life, the practical application of the word in our daily walk. Everybody should understand that. That's why I had that up there. Some of it I wasn't able to finish based on, because this was a setup for another teaching, but I put this in there in place. But we got to look at the spiritual meditation on Jehovah's word. It's told you right here, chewing the cud. Just as a cow regurgitates, is what I was talking about, we choose the food. Righteous consistency brings the word to mind. You see what I'm talking about here. Extracting every drop of spiritual nourishment. This is the eternal aspect of a holy life, constant communion in the mind of the Father. Divided the hoof spiritually as his discernment separated, and a divided hoof provides stability and sure footing. Spiritually, it represents the life separated from the world, while carefully chosen and not mingled with the ways of the ungodly. This is the external aspect of a holy life, a practical application of the word in our daily walk. And I just showed you Psalms 1:1 and 1:2, and you can see they backwards, but this is actually how it goes. Both characteristics require spiritual cleanliness. Both. So this is important that we have to do this, because clean beasts is here. Excuse me. The ox, the sheep, the goat, the hart, the deer, the roebuck, the gazelle, these are clean. But we got to get into this. We got to see how this translates to people, to men. We got to see how that goes. So keep this in mind, spiritual characteristics. To meditate on the word of Jehovah constantly, day and night, walk separation of the world and his ungodly ways, both internal holiness and external righteousness, provide spiritual nourishment to others through their example, possess discernment to distinguish between good and evil. We see that. So when we're looking at Leviticus chapter 11, it establishes what we're looking for. You see it in Leviticus chapter 11, Deuteronomy 14. These profound spiritual instructions are concealed within dietary commandments to be teaching methods for us. Everybody follow me? These are teaching methods which shows us in, actually, let me go to it. So these are our teaching methods. You'll see this in Galatians in 3:24. You'll see it there. It says, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster, the teaching method to bring us unto Christ. We might be justified by faith, but after faith is come, we are no longer under the schoolmaster. That's what I was talking about. So this is why we have to understand the differences on what we're doing. So it's concealed in this dietary law, something that you have to eat to live. Everybody follow me? We have to eat to live. That's the purpose. That's what we have to keep in mind. So whatever is parted of the hoof and cloven footed, true of the cut among the beasts, that ye eat, is not merely instruction or instructional, but it's Israel about animal consumption. Rather, it's revealing the dark speech in similitudes the very nature of the righteous man, warning against 4 distinct types of spiritual uncleanness that masquerades as righteousness. Everybody with me? Because we get ready to dig into this. So the clean beast must possess 2 essential marks. Put that on there. Beast. Clean beast must possess 2 essential marks. First, he must chew the cud. Which spiritually signifies the continual consideration of visions, prophecies, and dreams. The meditation upon the word day and night is what the first one. Everybody follow me? Everybody is with me. Tell me we're going to take our time, because Deacon Ann, he have 6 hours on Sunday, so I can take my time. I'm not going to take 6 hours, but I can show you what I'm talking about. The second, you must be divided of the hoof. It must be divided of the hoof, which spiritually represents divided desires. These divided desires, life of practices separated from the world, a walk that is one, holy, and sanctified unto Jehovah. Everybody follow me? Everybody follow me? We got to make sure we got these 2 at least nailed down. Because when we looking at this, but the unclean beast lacks either one, or they're going to lack both of these characteristics. Everybody follow me? Unclean beast going to lack one or both of these characteristics. They represent different manifestations of unrighteousness, each dangerous in its own manner, each leading souls to destruction while appearing to possess some type of measure of truth when we are commanded of their flesh, ye shall not eat. Keep that in mind. We are being commanded not to learn from, associate with, to internalize in the ways of unrighteous men. We must understand these 4 types of precision and dwell among us, and they sit in our assemblies, even today, even here. They speak from positions of authority. They seduce the unwary into the paths of death. The first one, let's look at it. Let's go back here. Let's look at one of them. And we're going to get an understanding of it. The first, nevertheless, ye shall not eat of them, nor chew the cud, nor divide of the hoof, as comparing the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He's unclean to you. Everybody see that? Because we got to go into what this is actually saying. Ooh, excuse me. Everybody understand that? But now we have to relate this to a man. We have to relate it to man. The camel, because he cheweth not the cud, and he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He's unclean to you. So what I want you guys to do on your papers, I want you to put there, and then when you guys got it there, once I see about 10, I'm going to keep moving. But I want you to put camel dash man. I want you to put that there. Actually, I can put one up myself. and do this myself. Let me put one up this here to where we can actually be together there. And I want you to do this. I want this there. I want you to do it that way there. That's what I want you to do. Put camel man there. Okay. So let's move on. Now the reason why we have to look at the spiritual side of this. Now the camel is a beast of burdens. So too is the man who he represents. So this man who carries upon his back great loads of scriptural knowledge. I want you guys to understand exactly what I'm saying. Great load. Don't put them all in the chat. Put it on your paper. Don't put it in the chat. Put it on paper to where you have it. So you got to remember that this man, he carries upon his back these great loads of scriptural knowledge. But who can discourse at length upon doctrine, who committed to vast portions of text even to memory. Who can trace even genealogies and expound on prophecies. I want you to follow what I'm saying. He chews the cud continually. That is, he considers the word, he studies, he meditates, he brings forth from the storehouse things both old, even things new. His mind is ever occupied with scriptural matters. His mouth frequently speaks of spiritual things. His appearance even suggests deep devotions to Jehovah. It happens. Yet, we're not finished. Yet, it has this fatal deficiency. What is that? He does not divide the hoof. But divided not the hoof. He does not divide the hoof. He does not divide the hoof. His practices, his daily walks, his lifestyle remains undivided from the world. His hoof represents his living practices, powers, and desires. This divided of the hoof, it separates one's conduct from worldly conformity. To distinguish one's path from the broad which leads to destruction. But the camel man, again, the camel man remains whole, united with the world's patterns that he goes through. His desires have not been severed between flesh and spirit. Now you follow me. His feet, his desires walk the same paths as those who know not Jehovah. Y'all following me now? So we got to look at something. We have to consider how this man manifests even in assemblies. He attends every service. He participates in every Bible study. He can quote the Bible. I show you to you. He quotes the Bible because he wanted to show this. We'll see this in 2 Timothy chapter 3, looking at verse 16. All scripture is given inspiration to God, profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and instructions in righteousness. We're gonna join another one to it. We're gonna look at Ephesians 4:29. In Ephesians 4:29, it says, "Let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth, but that which is good to use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." So we can see these are things that they demonstrate. He knows these, which commands no corrupt communication proceed from the mouth. Yet, the workplace, his conversation, it mirrors his ungodly colleagues, filled with crude jesting, gossip, and complaints. He recite this. I'm going to show you something that they'll recite. Romans chapter 12, looking at verse 2, they'll recite this on cue. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that which is good. They'll quote that on cue. On cue. But being transformed by renewing of the mind and being not conformed to this world, yet his entertainment choices, his financial priorities, his ambitions, his relationships remain wholly conformed to the world's patterns. The camel man. That's a camel man. This man, whom Paul even describes with devastating precision. Devastating precision. I have to show you this. With devastating precision. 2 Timothy is 3:7. Because he's going to do it with devastating. Ever learning, never able to come to the knowledge of truth. He accumulates knowledge as a camel accumulates burdens. He's going to accumulate knowledge as a camel accumulates burdens. Yet his knowledge never transforms him. He possesses faith without works, understanding without holiness, orthodoxy without obedience. His form of godliness denies the power thereof. Actually, I'm quoting 3:5. I'll show it to you. Having a form of godliness and denying the power thereof, from such turn away. See, what I want you to understand this man. These are mouthpieces of God. Anybody speaking the words of God is being mouthpiece. So when we're looking at against this camel man, Isaiah even produced a certain thing. We're going to see some of this. We're going to run a couple of scriptures. I want to show you something and get a better understanding. In Isaiah chapter 29, picking up at verse 13, it says this. It says, whereof the Lord says, for much as this people, this camel man, draw near me with their mouths, and their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, from the fear towards me is taught by the precept of men. That's interesting. See, the camel man is going to honor him with his mouth. He's going to chew the cud. He's going to chew that scripture. But his heart, his practices remain far removed from genuine separation of holiness. Now do you follow me? Ezekiel got even better. Watch this. I want to show you something. Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 33, and we're going to look at 31. Ezekiel 33:31. We want to see something. It says, and there come unto thee as the people cometh, and they, the camel man, sit before thee as my people. Who? The camel man. They hear thy words, but they will not do them. Interesting. With their mouths show much love. I know y'all done heard that term. Much love. But their hearts goeth after their covetousness. You follow me? They hear, they study, they chew the cud, but they will do not do anything. Their hoofs remains undivided, their covetousness from worldly pursuits and fleshly desires. James, then y'all got Yahushua, Jesus' brother, got in on this. He even got in on this. Let's look at something. We're going to see this in James chapter 1:22. I want to show you something. James 1:22. It says, but Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only. Camel man, oh camel man. Now I'm gonna ask a plain, simple question, because I know I'm not gonna get a lot of eyes there. I'm not gonna probably get a lot of comments. But I'm gonna ask you a question. Even here where I'm teaching on this Leviticus, now a lot of people see why a lot of times I'm very strict a little bit more on men, and why I will strike men down faster, even in those men classes, why I will strike them down even in Zoom. Now you guys should be seeing why I do what I do. Everybody should understand me now. See, when you understand things spiritually, you see things differently. This is why I do what I do. See, a camel man is self-deceiving, believing that his knowledge equals righteousness, that his studies replaces obedience, that his thoughts, his perceptual understanding acute compensates for his unholy walk. See, even Jesus or Yahushua, this anointed man, he encountered this same type that described the Pharisees. They knew the scriptures. Exhaustively, they knew the scriptures. They chewed the cud without ceasing. Yet, Yahushua declared one thing to them. I'm going to show it to you. We're going to see it. I want to show it to you. Matthew chapter 7:21. It says, not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord. Not everyone going to come to me and say, Lord, Lord. Not all. But when they come and say, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Interesting, isn't it? Because it got a lot more to this. Because many will claim their scriptural knowledge. They're going to claim this. You're going to see how they claim this. I want to show it to you. And it says, many will say, many camels men will say. Camel women will say. What? To me that day, Lord, Lord. Many gonna come to me and say, Lord, Lord. Interesting, ain't it? Really interesting, ain't it? But watch this. Have we not prophesied in thy way, in thy name? And in thy name, in thy way, we have cast out devils, and in thy way, in thy name, done many wonderful works. Really interesting. Then I will profess to them. So then Jehovah is going to profess to them, I never knew you, you camel man. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. See, these chew the cud of prophecies, powers of works, but their hoofs was never divided from iniquity. Everybody follow me now. Everybody should understand me clearly. This is clear scripture. Titus summarized this for us. I want to show you something in Titus. And let me get up for that. Dang it. Yeah, let's go to Titus. We want to see something in Titus. Titus 1:16. Titus 1:16, it says, they profess they know God. They're going to profess 100% they know God. You see it there. But in works, they deny him. Being abominable and disobedient in every good work, reprobate. What is it saying? They profess they know God, but being abominable, they disobedient in every good work, reprobate. Their profession is presented, the chewing of the cud, The knowledge is evident. They speak Jehovah continually, but their works deny everything the mouth profess. Am I clear? Am I clear? I should be extremely clear right now. That's why it's talking about the camel. The hoofs remain undivided, practices remain worldly, the life remains abominable despite their religious speech. Their religious speech. See, this is why the Most High pays. He don't have you guys pay. He said, I give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you knowledge and understanding. I'm going to pay them. You ain't got to pay them. The reason why? Because they're going to say things you don't like. Because I promise you, a lot of men here don't like this message, even though it's a truth message. See, we got to understand this. Imagine a teacher. I want you to imagine something. Imagine a teacher who lectures brilliantly on doctrine of sanctification, but then he publishes papers on progressive holiness, who can parse every Hebrew verb, relate transformations, yet turns home. He gets back home and he puts on pornography. He's doing all this stuff. And then they married. I gotta throw that in. Then they married. And as soon as they get home, they put on pornography. I'm telling you, you got them doing it. Who harbors bitter unforgiveness towards colleagues, who lives of academic acclaims and cares nothing for the soul he teaches. He chews the cud masterfully, but bring forth meditation upon meditation, but his hoof is never been divided from the fleshly desires, professional pride, and spiritual death. So you can consider the Bible studier. You got the Bible studier. The Bible studier who can expound for hours on Paul's letters. He knows every argument against false doctrine. He teaches fervently and living according to the Spirit. Yet, whose business practices mirrors world's corruption. What are you saying? They defraud customers, who lies on others, who cheat employees of fair wages. The cud is chewed continually, the study and teaching, but the hoof walks the same path of dishonesty that marks the children of disobedience. This is the camel man, front and center, being shown to you. And it tells you, do not learn from this people, his example. Do not follow his pattern. Do not internalize his ways, for he teaches what knowledge without transformation is acceptable, that study without obedience is sufficient. Biblical knowledge can replace holiness. Yeah, this one guy, he calls himself a preacher. He said, hey, I know it's a lot of work out there right now. So y'all can't do all this study. So what I do, the Lord have me to do all this study and download all this study while you work, and then all you got to do is come to me and I give you what he said. And he got tons of followers. I just showed you on yesterday. The man sitting there talking about put 1,000 on 1,000. I guarantee you, if that tide was turned around, I guarantee you, he'll tell you he ain't putting 1,000 on no 1,000. He ain't gonna even give you 1,000. These things happen. That's why this happens. But it gets even better. Gets even better. Because we got the coney in the hair. Remember them? They're right here. I showed them. They're right here. The coney in the hair, because they chew at the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean to you. The hair, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he's unclean unto you. But we need to know about them. We need to know about them now. That's the thing. That's the thing. Well, we got this one here. We can go over this one here. Well, we got most of that one there. And that's the swine. So I didn't put the coney in here. I don't have the coney in here, so I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to stop that there. And we're going to deal with scripture. Because I didn't put that in there yet. I got to put that in there. I got to put my writings in there. But the coney. We're going to look at the coney. Him. That one. Coney. I want you to write that in there. Coney. The coney is the hinderer, the feeble talk, the feeble folk. So coney put feeble folk, the hinderer, the hinderer. Let's do this. So now we got to do this one. So we got the coney. And he's the hinderer. This is him. So now we got the coney. Now we got him on deck. He's on deck. So make sure you update your pages. Because he's on deck now. So the coney is identified as that. He's a small creature. Actually, he mentioned over here. I want to show it to you. Mentioned over here, but most people can't tell it. But we're going to see this in Proverbs chapter 30, but we're going to pick it up at verse 26. And it tells you the conies are but a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. We're going to break all that down. They're the feeble folks. Spiritually, those who hide their faith. Did I hit someone? Spiritually, those who hide their faith. Did I hit somebody? Because we're going to go into it. So let's see, is somebody going to get hit? Because these are ones who retreat into compromise. They compromise themselves. Who are feeble, encourage, though they may possess knowledge of truth, like the camel, the coney chewed the cud. His knowledge, he considers the word. He meditates upon visions. He meditates upon prophecies. But like the camel, he does not divide the hoof. Ain't that interesting? It's right here. Divide not the hoof. Just like the camel. Just like the camel. Interesting. So so how did this end up? See, the coney, as I said, his fear prevents him. It prevents the separation of his practices from worldly conformity. So he knows what righteousness requires. He knows this. That coney knows this. but lacks the courage to be separated. He lacks the courage to be separated, to be sanctified, to stand apart from a crowd. That's a Cooney man. Actually, I didn't even put Cooney man there. I got to put the Cooney man there. I got to put Cooney man there. I got to put Cooney man. I forgot to do that. That's the Cooney man. That's the Cooney man. I forgot. I got to put him there. I got to make sure he's there. That's the Cooney man. How many we got like that? See, this is the faint-hearted man. This is the coward man. This is one who discouraged and be dismayed. The one who is timid. The one who is weak-willed. The one who face of opposition. He hides his faith. He hides it. As the Cooney hides in the rocks. The Cooney. He pressed to confess Jehovah before men. He remains silent. So when challenged, to take this stand of truth, he compromises. When called to be separated from worldly practices, he conforms for fear of reapproach, mockery, and rejection. Who? The Cooney man. We got a lot of Cooney men here. Right here. I want you to think of something. Let's look at Saul. King Saul. King Saul, who served as the perfect example of the Cooney. The perfect example of a Cooney. When commanded by Jehovah through those Samuel to utterly destroy Amalek, sparing nothing. I want you to think about this. Sparing nothing. Saul knew the commandment. He knew what to do. He knew to follow this order. He chewed the cud of this prophetic instruction. But he got a problem. One little problem. One small problem. I'm going to show it to you. And this is 1 Samuel 15:24. One little eeny-weeny problem. I'm going to show it to you. And Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned, I have transgressed the commandments of the Lord in thy word because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Interesting, ain't it? Saul knew the commandment, yet when faced the people, his desires kept the best sheep, the best cattle. He compromised when confronted by Samuel. That was his confession right there. I feared the people. Tell me it ain't true. I'll show you a lie because it's standing right there. See, when this exposed this with precision, he knew the word, but he feared the people. He chewed the cud of the commandment, but his hoof was not divided from popular opinion. Now do you get it? His hoof was not divided from that popular opinion. See, the fear of man brought a snare to Saul, and it brought to Saul's kingdom. Was torn because he proved himself to be a Cooney, a hinderer who retreats unto compromise rather than standing separated in obedience. This man appeared through scripture. He was being warned of this. So I'm going to show you another Cooney who had to learn what was going on. Peter. Who? Peter, who was rolling around with Yahweh. Yahweh, I don't know. Jesus. He was rolling around with him. Warming himself with the enemy's fire. But who, when questioned his association to him, he denied him 3 times. I'm going to show it to you. He denied him 3 times. Let's look at it. We're going to go to Matthew 26, 69. We're going to take it all the way to 75. So now Peter sat in a place at the damsel came unto him saying, thou also was with Jesus of Galilee. You was with this guy. You was with this guy. He chewed the cud though, because he was chewing the cud, but he denied before them all. Denied before all the people out there warming themselves. I know not what thou sayest. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I don't know what the hell you talking about, woman. What are you talking about? I don't even know. You were with that guy. What in the hell are you talking about? I'm out here warming myself. I don't know the guy. I don't have the slightest idea who this dude is. And when he had gone out on the porch, another maid saw him and said unto him that were there, this fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth. He was with this guy. And again, with an oath. He did this with an oath. Can you understand what's coming out of my mouth? I do not know that man. That's what he's doing. I don't know the guy. I do not know this guy. While after a while came unto him that they stood by and said to Peter, surely, dude, I know you are 5-0. I know you 5-0. Thou also art one of 5-0s. You one of them. And not even thy speech betray thee. Peter said, okay, I got to up it, Annie. I got to up this and that. Then began he to curse. He had to up it up a notch. Okay, you said that the speech. Okay, he started talking like a sailor and swearing, saying, don't you see what's coming out of my mouth? I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. And Peter remembered the words of Jesus Yahweh and said unto them, before the rock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. He chewed the cud. He's chewing the cud. He knew exactly who Jesus Yahweh was. And he confessed even as his Messiah. But the moment he professed, you are the living God, can't no one else tell me you not. But when that came up on the line, when that hit, when that pressure got there, in the moment of that testing, that proving point, the hoof was not divided. Fear prevented that separation. Fear shuts that down. See, you got many rulers who believe on Jehovah. Many of us believe on Jehovah. Many of us here believe on Jehovah. But because the Pharisees, they were not confessing. They're not going to confess him, at least they should be put out their synagogues. Because they love the praise of Men more than God. Let's look at something. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I need to show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna look at this in John chapter 12 and 42. John chapter 12, verse 42. We want 42. Bingo. We want 42. Actually, we're going to grab verse 43. It says, nevertheless, that the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him. Because of the Pharisees, they didn't confess him. Least they should be put out of the synagogue. Y'all scared of being put out. Y'all scared of being put out. I'm just following for a fact. I'm just letting you know what a Cooney is. A Cooney man. A Cooney man. They believed on him, but they ain't gonna confess him. Why? They scared to get put out. How many people scared to confess him because they scared their family gonna cut them off? How many scared to profess him because they think their husband, their wife gonna separate from them? How many of you guys scared to profess him because you think your kids gonna separate from you? How many people scared to confess him because you think, oh, they get to the job and they call him all kinds of names. You scared to confess him because you think you fired. It's comical. It's comical. This is 100% comical. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him. Many of us here believe on him. But because of the Pharisees, they do not confess him. Least they be put out the synagogue. Y'all don't want to be put out, y'all. Y'all, I'm in the inner circle. It was hard for me to get here. I don't want to leave him out of here. Yeah, right. Got it. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. Interesting, ain't it? They love the praise of men way more than they love the praise of God. They had the knowledge, they believed, they chewed the cud of truth, but their hips remained bound to social acceptance, to positions, to approval of men. Now y'all understand me? Now we getting this? I told you this is comical. It's almost comical. The reason why, no, I ain't gonna tell you. I was gonna say I ain't gonna tell you. Most of y'all wouldn't be able to take it if I told you. But we want to look at this. We want to look at the other one. And then you have, including the hair, this one, this guy. Let's put it up. Let's put it up. We got to put the hair. The hair. See, the hair, I'm gonna put what it is right here. We want to make sure we got this. The hair is that's the hair. The hair is more like a whore and a harlot. Right there. Well, I'm gonna prove the point. Don't worry, I'm gonna prove the point. Don't worry, I'm gonna prove the point. So this we gotta understand how this working. Everybody okay out there? I know I'm throwing rocks like crazy. This some male y'all some people didn't want to come to their house. Everybody okay? I just want to see eyes in there. Everybody all right? Because it's throwing rocks at all kind of places. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody okay. I'm just trying to make sure everybody okay. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure everything okay. That's all. It is what it is. All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm just trying to check. I'm just trying to make sure everything is good. So we're looking at this hair man. This hair man adds a whole nother dimension to the spiritual uncleanness of those who chew the cud but not divided of the hoof. So why the Cooney hides from fear, see, the Cooney hides from fear. The hair commits spiritual adultery. Right there. See, it attempts to maintain intimacy with both Jehovah and the world. It's a whole. It's a whole. It's a whole. It want to maintain intimacy with the world in Jehovah, sleeping with both the holy and the profane, loving both light and darkness. What? Yeah, I got to prove the point. Don't make me prove the point. I done took and told y'all. Let's prove the point. Let's look at this. We're going to go to James chapter 1. We're going to pick this up at 1 and looking at verse 8. I want to show you something there. In 1:8 it says, a double-minded man is unstable in his ways. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. See, a double-minded man is unstable. See, the hair man wants the benefits of appearing righteous while maintaining the pleasures of worldliness. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna prove this. You see, I got to challenge this, so I got to tell it. I'm gonna tell it now. I'm gonna tell it all. See, just like I just said. See, these hairmen, these hoes, these harlots, they want to appear righteous and maintain the pleasures of worldliness. See, he's going to attend the service on the Sabbath. He's going to attend those, but he parties like a heathen on the rest of the week. He speaks spiritual language in the assemblies, but indulges in carnal appetites in private. He professes separation, but cultivates worldly friendships, worldly entertainment, worldly ambitions. Yeah. See. Elijah confronted the entire nation of hairmen on Mount Carmel. A whole slew of them. Don't tell me that. I had somebody say, prove it. I'm gonna prove it now. See, now I'm gonna pivot a little bit, but I'm gonna be pivoting still on this hair man. See, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you what he did. I want to show it to you. Let's look at something. 1 Kings. I want to show you something in 1 Kings. 18:21 we want. And seeing Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long had ye be between two opinions? How? If the Lord be God, if the Spirit of God be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered not a word. That's interesting. See, they was halting and hopping like hares, like hoes. Two loyalties, two walks. They chew the cud of tradition and heritage of righteous rituals, but their hooves was never divided from Baal worship, from spiritual adultery, double-mindedness. Can't tell me it ain't true. Because all of them talked about it. What about Jesus? Jesus talked about it too. Why? 'Cause I'm taking you to it. I got to take you to it. It says, no man in Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold the one and despise the other. No man can serve God and mammon. No, it can't happen. Can't happen. Cannot happen. The hair, or this hair man, he attempts the very impossibility. He wants to chew the cud of scriptural knowledge while his hoof remain undivided between heavenly and earthly treasures. Think about it. Think about it. It gets comical. Because we want to understand how this is working. In James 4:4, it tells you this. It says, ye adulterers, ye adulteresses. You know not that the friendship with the world is enmity to God? You can't have both. But you're a whore. But you're a whore, man. Whoso therefore will be a friend of the world is enmity to God. You can't even change this. The hair man commits adultery. He attempts friendship with both Jehovah and the world, intimacy with both righteous and unrighteous partnerships, with both light and darkness. The hoe. The hoe. The hair man. The hair man. He does this. But it gets better. In 2 Corinthians chapter 6, picking up at verse 14, it says this, and it really makes it clear. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? A hoe say that can work. The hoe says that can happen. A hoe says that can happen. A hair man seeks exactly this impossibility. He seeks this impossible friendship. He chews the cud of righteousness, his mind, while his hoof walks in partnership with unrighteousness in his practices. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. See, we have to really understand when these witnesses against the Cooney man and the hair man. The Cooney man, you got the hair man. And we have to understand this wisdom of this that comes from this. In Proverbs 29:25, the fear of man brings a snare, but put his trust in the Lord, he shall be safe. That's what should be happening. The Cooney man is a snare by fear, trapped and compromised, unable to divide the hoof from worldly approval. Interesting. Highly, highly interesting. But it gets better, though. It gets better. In Isaiah 51:7, it tells you this. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be afraid of their ravings. Why do you even have to say this? Those who chew the cud and have the law in their hearts must also divide the hoof by refusing the fears of men's reproach. Knowledge without courage, separation without uncleanness of the Cooney. We have to. It's hard. It becomes hard a lot of times. Jeremiah 1:8, he said this. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee and deliver thee, saith the Lord. I said this. The prophet must chew the cud of Jehovah's word and divide his hoof by standing unafraid before the faces of men. Any other path in the way of the Cooney, hiding, compromising, feeble. See, and this is a judgment. This is a judgment put on us about this. We have to remember all this. In Revelations, looking at 21 verse 8, it tells you it's pretty clear. And it says, but the fearful. Revelations 21:8. But the fearful, the unbelieving and the abominable, and the murderers, the whoremongers. Oh. The sorcerers, the idolaters, all liars, have they part in the lake of which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Did you observe that? The fearful? Did y'all observe it said the fearful? Here's the list of the condemned. That here's the list of the condemned. That's the head of it. Why is that? Why am I stressing? But the fearful, out of everything listed here, fearful is the lead bearer of the list. Why? Because fear prevents division of the hoof. This is why when I talk to those men, I'm relentless. I speak without apology. Why? I don't need fearful around me. Period. In any form and ways to teach, I have no time for it. So when people sit there and say, oh, he's a hard guy. Well, I'm not hard. I can't afford to have fearful by me. It's contagious, just like catching a cold. I don't need that on me. I can't afford it. That'll get you sick. Well, I'm scared to do it. Go over there. Go over there. I don't need that. I don't need to get sick. Well, I'm trying to put it, I'm trying to see how I can do it. I'm just trying to see what it, no, that's fear. Go over there. Stay over there. Don't come by me. I'm not trying to get sick. That's a disease. That's a sickness. Well, once I kind of get ready, I'm gonna get all this and then I'm gonna put it. No, hold it. I'm not trying to get sick. Stay over there. Fear keeps men bound to worldly conformity. I can't take it. Fear makes men hinders like coonies. Fear makes compromisers like hares. Fear. Fear, when it triumphs over faithfulness, it's going to triumph over faithfulness. It's going to lead to the second death. Hell, I ain't trying to die for you. I'm going to tell you what the truth is. If you say you want to click with me and you got fear on you, stay over there. Stay over there. I don't need that. I'm not trying to get to second death. I'm not trying to get sick. Now y'all understand why, a little bit more why Elder Johnson's the way he is. Because I ain't trying to get sick. Let's look at something in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. Picking up chapter 2, looking at verse 12 and 13. It says, woe be to the fearful hearted, to the fearful hearts. I ain't trying to get sick. People got to understand that. It ain't that I got nothing against you. I ain't trying to get sick. That's it. I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't want what you got. I don't want fear. Woe be to the fearful hearts. But the fearful shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. I ain't trying to get that. I don't need that. Stay on that side. Stay over there. Take some Robitussin. Take something. Go take a fear drug. I don't know. Go take whatever you need. Cause I ain't trying to get it. Whatever you got, I ain't trying to catch it. Fear gonna always make hinders like coonies, like I just explained. And compromises are always gonna be like hares. This fear, when it's gonna always triumph over faithfulness, is gonna put your butt in that second death. And I ain't having it. Not me. I ain't going with you. I ain't trying to follow you to hell. I don't want you to click with me, and I don't need that on my back. I need you to imagine young believers who knows the commandments of Jehovah, who studied the scriptures, who can articulate doctrines of faith. Yet, when he sits in the lunchroom, he sits in there at work, and his colleagues begin to mock just righteousness, to blaspheme the name of the Most High. He speaks to speak lewdness, and they sit there and they say nothing. Nothing. He laughs nervously. He nods along, he participates in the conversation as though he shares their same identical mindset. Jesus is God. Yeah, sure is. He chews the cud in private study, but his hoof is not divided when tested publicly. I can't afford to have that near me. Y'all understand where I'm coming from. I know y'all should understand that. I ain't trying to get killed. I'm out here putting in work. I put work in the gym. And I ain't trying to be clicked up with some dang coney or some dang hair. Y'all should understand that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I tell you what we're going to do. If all the sisters can just hold up 1 second, all the sisters just for 1 second, just do me one favor. Just stop putting in the chat, all the sisters. I don't want no sister to put in for me. Don't no sister put in anything. All I want is the brothers, the elders, the deacons, the brothers. All I want you to do is this. If you went to war, do you want to go to war with a coonie or a hare, or you want to go to coonie, or you want to go to war with another lion? You tell me. If you want to go to war with a coonie or a hare, you're going to die, or you want to go to war with another lion. No matter what, they going. They not worrying about death. They sitting there, they going to go to work with you. Why are these people still putting in yes? And I told no women put in nothing, and they still putting in stuff. All I want is men. That's all I want. Now, I want everybody to look at this themselves. I want you to see this themselves, all the men. Don't worry, sisters. I got something for you guys too. Don't worry about this. I got something for y'all too. Now you see every man in here putting in, they want to go to war with a lion. Because both of them gonna fight. And they gonna fight until death. That's the work of a lion. Now, here's the issue. Anyone saying they want to go with a lion or got eyes in there and they ain't teaching, that shows you they're Cooney. That shows you they're hair. All you got to do is if they don't teach. If they don't teach, they're Cooney. They're hair. Now I'm going to ask the women. Now I need all the brothers to stop. All the brothers don't put nothing in. Don't put nothing in, brothers. Now it's the sisters' time. Now it's time for the sisters. If you sat there, sisters, and you going down this dark road and you got to walk, do you want to go down that dark road with a lion, or do you want to walk down that dark road with a Cooney or a hare? Put that in the chat. What you want to walk down that dark road with? You want to walk down that dark road with a Cooney, a hare, or you want to walk with a lion? Because if you walk with the lion, he going to push you back. You know, I got this. I got this. All hell going to break loose. You walk up on that lion. Them hyenas know. When you mess with that female and that lion shows up, he know all hell going to break loose. And I ain't seen not one woman put nothing else but a lion. I ain't seen a Cooney nowhere. I ain't seen a hare nowhere. I'm telling you. If they know they got to walk down this dark road, no. Because the lion ain't going to let them, the lion going to make them get back. No, you go back to the car. You go back to the car. You get in the car. I'm going to take care of this. That Cooney, going to sit there, hey, you on your own. You on your own. I don't know what you on your own. But these are the ones who will laugh nervously. They nod their head. They participate in the conversation, share the same mindset. They know the truth. They know the truth. So, or consider even the woman who follows Yahushua, who attends services faithfully, who can speak eloquently about faith. Yet, when social media presents mirrors of worldly vanity, what? Yeah. When they present these mirrors of worldly vanity, whose clothing I'm talking about deliberately, provokes lust. Just their clothing. Booty cutters. That's what I call them. Booty cutters. You don't have no imagination of the mind when you see them, because you can see everything. So it's left nothing to the imagination of the mind, whose entertainment choices include everything the world celebrates through those scriptures condemn it. They'll post scriptures every Sunday. You got something to do them every Sabbath day. They'll post scriptures like clockwork. Every Sunday like clockwork. And then they post sensual images on Monday. All you gotta do is go to Facebook. They say, I don't really do Instagram. They say you can go to Instagram, I believe TikTok, and I got some other ones, Twitch and Twitter. I believe all of them do it. Tell me they don't do it. Right on Monday, boom, they back to business. Their hoofs remains undivided from worldly attention seeking. See, she is a hare. The woman is a hare, because her spiritual adultery who attempts intimacy on both the Holy Spirit and in the spirit of this age. So these are coonies and hares. They are unclean. Their flesh ye should not learn of. You do not follow their examples of the fearful, compromise, do not adopt to their patterns of spiritual adultery, do not internalize their doubt and their double-mindedness. For they teach you one can know the truth without living it courageously. Because if you know the truth, you're going to live it. That one can serve Jehovah without being truthfully separated from the world. This is the lie that leads you right to the lake of fire, which is the second death. It shows you right there. Shows you right there. But we got another one. And we got the swine. Oh, we got the swine. The swine outwardly is a hypocrite. The swine is a hypocrite. Let's put in work. The swine is a hypocrite. The swine man. Why? Oh, let's see. P is a hypocrite. That's him. That's him 101. Why? It's right here. In the swine, though he's divided of the hoof, and be cloven-footed, he cheweth not the cud. He don't chew the cud. So we need to know what that, how do that manifest to people? Why is this person putting in lying and we are completely on something else? We completely on something else and they still putting in lying. They need to speed this up because they way back somewhere. So we need to understand how this looks. See, the swine, he's the most subtle of all of them in the form of spiritual uncleanness. See, the swine, he possesses the appearance of righteousness that the camel, the coney, and the hare lacks. I want you to understand what I'm saying, because we're gonna go clear into this. The swine is spiritually unclean, for even though he possesses in his appearance righteousness that the coney, the hare, and the camel lacked it. So the swine divides the hoof. His outward practices appear separated from the world. He's cloven-footed. His desire seems divided unto holiness. He walks, appears righteous. His conduct seems sanctified. His lifestyle displays a mark of separation. We got a terrible flaw here. We got him. Boom. We got him. We got him. His fatal deficiency. He does not chew the cud. I marked it. We got him. So we need to find out what this is. He does not consider visions, dreams, and prophecies. Got him again. Why? He does not meditate upon the word at all. His inner manner is empty of true spiritual contemplation. His heart never returns to the word for a repeat. Reminiscing on consideration. What do you mean? The mind is not transformed by continual meditations upon Jehovah's commandments. Much like a lot of us here. People say, what? Yeah, much like a lot of us here. Because a lot of us don't meditate at all. Why? We say, I say, how many meditate last week? No, 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 no. A lot of no's. So it's typical. So this is what happens. The meditation upon Jehovah's commandments. His soul does not feed upon the depths of scriptural truth. This, I hate to tell you, but ask me, do I care? This is a hypocrite. The hypocrite man who spiritually shows as one who contradicts, lies, a deceiver, a serpent, a profane, heathen, godless person. This is the man of hypocrisy, characterized by craftiness, crafty, pretense, false appearance, ungodliness. He has mastered the art of outward conformity to righteousness, while maintaining inner emptiness of genuine devotion to Jehovah. Well, I know we ain't going to get a lot of amens here, because this is hitting a whole lot of people. But I got to show you what the truth is. I have to show it. And I'm just letting you know what it is. See, this is why I sit there and I tell people, truth cuts. Truth shows you what it is. It don't conform to man. Truth is truth. It do not conform to man. So when people sit there and they say, what is that? I'm just showing you what it is. So when you see a hypocrite, spiritually it shows one who contradicts lies. They contradict, they lies, they deceivers, they servant, profane, heathens. See, a swine is contemptible. He's unclean. He's a wretch. He's associated with frogs, spiders, bastards, according to spiritual meaning when you look at scripture. This, why harsh descriptions are there, because the swine deceives not only himself, but others also. I know people sitting there like, damn, I don't like this teaching. I know you don't like it, but I'm going to still tell the truth. Why, I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? I can show you that where Paul said that. I can show you right where Paul said it. This is the thing that what you guys need to know. See, while the camel, the coney, and the hare are obviously deficient, their lack of separation of visible, the swine going to appear righteous. Why do you think he compares us to swine? We lounge behind the garden still eating swine's flesh. He's divided the hoof fools to undiscerning. He holds positions of authority, speaks with seemingly wisdom, performs religious duties, and apparent in faithfulness. Yet his heart is far from Jehovah, because he cheweth not the cud of true meditation. Period. When we look at Yahweh Jesus, encountered swine men during his earthly ministry. Primarily, he was going against Pharisees and scribes. These men whose external practices appeared meticulously separated. They divided their hooves from Gentiles' contact. They ceremonies unclean from visible sins. They tied men in anus and cumin. They made long prayers in public. They wore phylacteries. They enlarged their borders of their garments. They fast even twice a week. Their divided hoofs was on full display. Full display. And Yahweh exposed that. He exposed it. Same as like what's happening right now. It's being exposed. And people dislike it. Let's look at this in Matthew chapter 23, looking at verse 27, 28. It tells you, it says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. These are ones, these doctors of these laws, hypocrites. You see, hypocrites. For ye are like unto white sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outwardly, but within full of dead man bones and of all uncleanliness. Even so ye outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Can't get around this. Can't get around this. See, the beautiful outward appearance, divided of the hoof, full of death, of uncleanness within, not chewing the cud, true meditation, not genuine transformation of the inner man. This is the swine. Yahushua, he furthered this. He repeated some stuff what Isaiah said. I want to show it to you. I want you to see this. In Matthew 15 and 8, I'm going to show it to you. I need you to see this. 15, 8. 15, 8. It says, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching from the doctrines and commandments of men. This is really peculiar. Really peculiar. Because this is how a lot of people, when they try to, even when I be in Zoom, some of them will deny the frontage and they'll try to come in the back and they'll try to say, can I call you about something? I want you to look at something. Something real peculiar. I want you to look at John chapter 3. Because they still denied him. Because they want to show that they still had a knowledge. They still want to show they had his knowledge. And you can see Nicodemus still want to prove he had this knowledge. It says there was a man of Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. So you have some people who want to still show that they this type of people. But besides showing that they want to learn and they can do it in an open setting, they want to come to you at this night. See, the same came unto Yahushua, Jesus, by night and said unto him, Rabbi. See, he gonna see how he showed the respect? He's showing respect. I know that thou art in your perfection and beauty a teacher. You can come from God. He's telling him he know this. But at what time? He came to him by night. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. No man can do some of these things unless God is with you. So what they do, their hearts is really far removed from really even me. But it's not a big deal to me. Because they cheweth not the cud. Their appearance, but they have no substance. Their doctrine is mere human traditions. No true meditation upon Jehovah's revealed word. None. You have knowledge hunters. That's it. We have so many people here that are knowledge hunters. They'll send me emails, this and that. They want to know this, want to know that. But they don't want to say nothing in the front, but they want to send it to me. And I turn it down. Or I just don't answer it. See, swine men, do I have it right there? I got swine men. Yeah, swine men. The swine men, and this I had to remember if I had that there or not. We got to understand what that is. Swine men. They have this behavior. They're going to always appear righteous. They always have this eternal reality, reveals this complete spiritual bankruptcy that they really are. So when Yahushua, he exposed this, we're going to go back over here in Matthew 23:25. Woe unto the scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. Bingo. You make clean the outside of your cup and the platter, but within are full of extortions and excess. The blind Pharisee cleanse first that which is within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Interesting. Let's look at something. Let me go up to 16. It says, woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, whatsoever swear by the temple is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by gold of the temple, he is the debtor. Why? Because 24 makes it all clear for you. Ye blind guides, which strain out a gat to swallow a camel. They had this reverse order, but these first clean beasts, they enter transformation through meditation, which then produces the divided hoof, outward separation and practices. The swine attempts to manufacture this divided hoof externally while maintaining utterly this ungenerated eternally change of his life. Blind guides. They can see outward behaviors divided the hoof, but they are completely blind of necessity, of the inward transformation through meditation. As I told people, meditation is key. That's why I really don't ask anyone anymore. Because if you don't do it, then that's on you. Chewing the cud, strain the gat of a ceremony correctness to swallow a camel is a spiritual wickedness. The witness against swine men. I'll show it to you. Swine men. In Isaiah, we're going to look at 1:13-14. It says, bring no more vain oblations, incense, and abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbath, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meetings. Your new moons and your appointed feasts have my soul hated. They are trouble to me, and I am worried to bear them. These are abominations to God. These observances is showing you exactly how you feel about it, what you think about it. 15, it tells you, and then it says, and when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yea, you will make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. They're full of lifestyles. We really want to understand a lot of this here. And a lot of people choose to still hold to this way because they swine men. Or you can say a swine man because it's both women and men. In Amos chapter 5, verse 21, he says, I despise your feast days. He's telling you this. You see, Isaiah said it, and he's telling you, I despise your feast days. I would not smell your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard your peace offerings of your fatted beasts. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as mighty streams. Perfect divided hoofs, keeping feasts, sacrifice, these solemn assemblies, Jehovah hates the lack of chewing the cud. He hates this. I've been saying this for I don't know how long now. Jehovah, if you don't meditate, he hates you. Get that through your head. This is why it's been just bottling up and just, if you are one who don't meditate, he do not like you. Find, the channel goes up, down, side to side. Find somewhere else to go. With that external religion, without eternal righteousness. Divided food without cud chewing meditation that produces true justice and righteousness. Find another channel. Yahushua issued these warnings continually. Continually he issues these. Let's look at something in Luke chapter 12. Pick it up at 1. 12:1 says this. And in the meantime, they were gathered together innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they tried one upon another. They began to say to his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. I'm telling you, first you watch them jokers. You watch them jokers. You watch them swine man. You watch them swine men because they are full of hypocrisy. They are false examples of outward righteousness within the transformation they spread corrupt to others. Suspecting the seed that they divided or the hoof, they assume that these are clean. They've fallen into discernment and they don't even chew the cud. I'm telling you right up front. Right up front. Matthew chapter 7, verse 6, we're digging more into it. It says, give not which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls unto swine, before swine. The swine man. The swine man. Don't cast pearl before swine. Lest they trample under their feet, their desires, and turn again and rent you. And they will. You see how them amens and everything slowed down? Rocks is being thrown. I'm just speaking, but the word of God is hitting people. You follow me? The word of God started hitting people. Swine will trample pearls with spiritual truth. Why? They never chewed the cud themselves, never meditated deeply upon the word. They cannot value genuine spiritual treasure. They know only outward performance, external conformity, visible religion. So they present themselves with deep things of Jehovah and the pearls that come from extended meditation, from chewing the cud of prophecy and visions and dreams. They'll trample them like pearls, like they trample over. The swine man will turn again and he'll rent you. He even become violent, pretend to have. They're hypocrites. Despise genuine righteousness because it exposes his pretense. Did you know that? When true cud chewing, meditation produce authentic holiness in others, swine man attacks it. Did you know that? Attempting to destroy what he cannot possess through external performances. I want you to understand what I'm saying. They're going to try to attack that because his external performance cannot prove that. So the ultimate exposure of a swine man. I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you. The ultimate swine man. I want to show you that. In Matthew 23:33. He says this. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how ye escape the damnation of hell. How? Despite their divided hooves, despite their outward righteousness, despite their righteous authority, they are 100% serpent. Deceivers like serpents of Eden. Vipers, poisonous. Offsprings of father that lies. And they love sitting again against assemblies and listening to all kind of silliness. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, it speaks on this, 11:13, it talks about this. It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Don't even trip. This is what they are. See, we have to understand these ministers of righteousness, perfectly divided hoods, deceitful workers. In reality, they don't chew the cud. They transform these external presentations, but ungenerated. So the key is this. How can one identify a swine man? That should be your number one question. That should be your number one question. How can you identify a swine man? I'm going to share it with you, but I want you to think about that. How can you identify a swine man? And you can do this by observing what happens when external pressures to maintain his divine hoof are removed. The swine going to return to his waddling in the mirror and no longer to be observed. Actually, I'm going to tell you what, it's front of me somewhere. Let me go to 2 Peter. Let me go to 2 Peter 2:22. It's going to actually say what I'm actually saying. It says, "But it happened unto them according to the true proverb. A dog is turned to his own vomit again, and to sow which was washed in her waddling in the mirror." Exactly what I was just saying. Just thought about it and said, yeah, let's run that. Same thing. So the swine man maintain outward righteousness, divided hooves. So when social pressures hit, religious expectations or personal advantage requires it, but removes the external motivation, places him in privacy, eliminates the audience, and the swine returns to his mirror wallowing because he never chewed the cud. He never developed eternal transformation through meditation. His righteousness was always external performances rather than eternal reality. So we have to understand what's going on. You got to imagine even when you got church leaders, when they stand before congregation preaching holiness with this elegant favor or whatever they want to use, his divided hoof fully displayed, properly dressed, properly preached speech, proper doctrine, yet he serves communion that they want to do in those churches, solemn reverence. He counsels members about righteousness. He leads in prayers, his apparent devotion. His practices appear separated from the world. But yet behind closed doors, the same man going to go right to his house. He's going to visit every pornography site he can get to. He got a private computer of history revealing his public persona that he denies. He harbors deep bitterness towards other leaders while maintaining facades of brotherhood. He manipulates even church funds that they have. They're taking up money for personal benefit while preaching against covetousness. He has divided his hoof outwardly. Learning to perform righteousness, but does not chew the cud. He does not meditate upon Jehovah's word until it transformed his inner man. His heart has never been ever renewed because he never truly considered the visions. He never truly considered the prophecies. He never considered the dreams and contemplated meditation, or considered the teacher who memorizes every right answer. And then you see it even back here. Sometimes I can ask people questions. Wait a minute, hold it. Besides, I'll say that's a yes or no question. Yeah, but wait a minute, but I don't know if it's a trick question. They try to memorize so they can answer it right, even though they even don't believe what's right. But they want to see what I'm saying, so they can answer it politically correct. Who can deliver technically correct doctoral dissertations, whose perceptual precision appears unimpeachable. Yet they harbor the deeper discovery that their study of Scripture is purely academic, never devotional. Purely academic, never devotional. They read to accumulate information, never commune with Jehovah. They examine the text to defend positions, never to examine by truth. They had learned to divide the hoof, correct doctrine, without ever chewing the cud of genuine meditation. They lead to transformation. These white sepulchres, these beautiful in appearance, full of depth, are spiritual inside. And it shows you, actually, I can go back up here to Matthew 23:27, because it tells you the same thing. It says, "Warn to the scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites." See, I keep telling you, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. You're like unto white sepulchres, and yet indeed appear beautiful outwardly, but within full of dead men's bones. These are swine. They're unclean, their flesh, and you shall not eat of them. You shall not learn of them. Do not follow their examples. Do not adopt their patterns. Do not believe their outward conformity. Without inward transformation is acceptable to Jehovah. For they teach the most dangerous lie of all. Because once they can appear righteous without being righteous, the eternal religion can substitute the eternal regeneration and divide their hooves matter of the cud never being chewed. You follow me? It tells you this when we winding this down. Leviticus 11:8, it says, even here, it says, of their flesh shall you not eat, shall you not learn of it. For their carcasses you shall not touch, for they are unclean to you. They're unclean to you. This commandment extends beyond dietary restrictions. I showed it to you. I proved it to you. According to biblical law. According to biblical law, I proved it to you. This commandment extends beyond dietary. Jehovah commands us not to eat of flesh, unclean beasts. He commands us not to eternalize, but to learn from it. To follow, not to adopt the patterns of the 4 types of unrighteous men. Do not eat the camel's flesh. Do not eternalize the lie that knowledge without holiness is sufficient. The study without transformation is acceptable. That one can chew the cud of Scripture while refusing to divide the hoof of separated living? Are you serious? Do not eat the kuni, the hare's flesh. Do not eternalize the lie, the fear that justifies compromise. That one can hide faith, preserve social acceptance, one who can maintain intimacy while both Jehovah and the world. Do not eat a swine's flesh. Do not eternalize the most dangerous lie of all, the outward conformity to righteousness without inward transformation through meditation and genuine holiness. The command extends further. The carcasses you shall not touch. I told you that. Even these men spiritually dead. The pretense is exposed, their uncleanliness revealed in their touch and their methods. Do not adopt their practices. Do not reconstruct their patterns. The entire approach to righteousness is unclean, whether they're living in or depicted they're dying in. I'm just letting you know today. So you be not deceived by this, what I'm showing you. Unclean beasts. Both meditate upon Jehovah lives and separated. So I'm gonna hit the Zoom for a minute, but I'm not gonna be back there long. So that I'm not. So don't be back there. If you got a question, you make sure you put your hand up. You put a hand up after we stop. Well, I promise you, I will not answer you, because that's another problem we have. So we need to examine ourselves, meditate upon the visions of prophecies, consider the words of the day, to bring back repeatedly. If you possess only the mark, you are unclean, whether you are a camel, the knowledge, but no holiness. The kuni or the hair, some truth, no courage. That live fully. Therefore, this is the law, this is the prophetic instructions concealed in these dietary commandments that was given to you, and I'll be taking up more of them later. But now you truly understand what it is. You understand what the law is. Something that's been hidden from since time, and since the time of this world, but it's been showing to you what it is. So hopefully that you remember this. And I know this afternoon we have, I believe we have our brother D'Angelo, and then later we have Elder T coming along. So hopefully today we got the understanding on what we need to do. And until then, I'll say to each and every person that's here, until we meet again, I say to you, Shalom.